This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to support the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, in a new spot, the Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Yes, I'm in the basement now, but happy to be here. I missed you guys last week.
If it makes you feel better, Stephanie, I'm also in the basement.
We're both in the basement. Woo!
Woo!
I'm loving the setup, though.
Yeah, I tried. It's a work in progress, but I tried. It looks better than a dark room with a bunch of garbage in it. Also joining us with a new mic, PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
LeRon, you sound much better.
Oh, thanks.
You sound.
This is what I was going for, actually.
We can actually hear the popping.
Yeah.
Oh God, does that mean it's like wiggling around on me? So y'all hearing like all sorts of static now? What?
No.
I'm just being cheesy.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, don't give me anxiety because I'm a tech person and I try to do everything I can to make these podcasts perfect.
Speaking of perfect, also here is PK Power, Pat Klein.
The P stands for perfect.
Sure.
It also stands
does.
for Patrick.
Ooh.
But to the ladies, it stands for pleasure.
Oh, God.
Oh, snap.
And the K stands for kidding. I'm just kidding.
Nah, that's probably right. Who am I kidding?
I don't know. Everyone doing all right? Everybody having a good week? Everybody doing their things?
I feel like I'm having a moratorium for my emulators.
Oh yeah, rip emulators, huh? Looks like you're gonna have to pay $60 or $70 for that next Nintendo remaster, LeRon.
Hold on. I buy my games. I buy my games. I really do.
I know. I was just kidding. Oh man!
But the one thing I will say, like I know we're not scheduled to talk about it, but Yuzu, y'all fucked up. Y'all know y'all did.
Yeah, they did.
Y'all know y'all did.
If they wouldn't have started a Patreon, they probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, Patreon, it was doing something really scummy, as in like early access, which the early access was discovered to like basically, like we'll make these games that leak, like playable right now for you and stuff like that. But also, you know what? The one thing I'm also gonna say, because even though I'm not guilty of it, I'm in that community. Content creators, when games fucking leak, y'all need to chill the fuck out. Y'all do. Like, some things can just exist and you're the only person that needs to know about it. You don't need to put it out there on the internet. You don't need to woohoo, look at me, like all this shit, because like you play with the wrong companies, you play with fire. I mean, like shit, like Nintendo will smack people down in a heartbeat. You poke the Sony hornet enough and Sony will fuck you up too. And stuff like that. So I mean, like content creators, it's your fault that Yuzu got shut down. It's your fault, and collateral damage because Citra got taken out with it, and now nobody's gonna be able to play like old DS games because the Nintendo eShop for 3DS and DS is gone. Yeah. So it's y'all's fault, and you guys know exactly where to find me at Exodus 803 and all my socials. Come talk to me. Let's have a conversation.
They can't find you because they're too busy scrounging their couch cushions to find $2.4 million.
No, I've heard some things though. With Nintendo taking all of their hardware and stuff, apparently Yuzu had some pretty good information on the people who registered with it. Like those end agreements where they say they can collect data. Well, apparently they collected a hell of a lot of data, and now Nintendo has the data of all the people who emulated their games.
I don't understand. I don't understand how people think like their information is safe. Like, I mean, like shit. Like Americans, like you guys know how the Patriot Act works. Your shit ain't safe. Your shit ain't free. And stuff like that. Now I can say this. Like,
LeRon, have you tried copying and pasting that little message that says, "I hereby state that by putting this message in my timeline, I am now relieved, or all my content is mine and mine alone, and does not belong to the platform"?
I've never done that. I've never done that. The furthest
there you
I've
go.
gone
Maybe that's what you should. And then now you're free from any public
liability
companies. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Like the most I've done is my thoughts and opinions are my own. Like, it does not reflect like the organizations I work for or am affiliated with. So you know what? Guess what? If I say the wrong thing, you know what? I'm not affiliated with Boss Rush, depending on what I said.
It's fine.
So if someone heard out there that I said that Corey is a giant poopy head, you know what? How do you know?
I've been called worse, LeRon. It's fine. I mean,
but no. In all seriousness, like gamers, part of our slogan here at Boss Rush is be better. Gamers, be better. People who are skirting the system, be better. People who just want to like have nice things, be better.
It's true. Yes.
Now that being said, like my feelings aren't that hurt. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. My feelings aren't that hurt because Yuzu's gone.
Yeah, who cares?
They'll just get replaced by another.
Yeah, somebody will find something, right? So, Oh man! All right. Well, I guess we should get into the show stuff. This is the last public episode before PAX, and the second to last Patreon episode before PAX, and I'm quite excited because we're going to be there.
Nuts. 2 weeks.
Yep, except for LeRon because of scheduling conflicts.
I'm upset.
I know, me too. But we'll be there. We'll be roaming the show floor. We'll be doing podcasts, interviews, meetings, video, all that kind of stuff. So come say hi if you're there.
If you donate $1 million, we'll even go streaking.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would go that far for $1 million.
$1 million? Yeah.
$1 million, I would streak the shit out of that PAX floor.
Nobody wants to see
had
this.
$1 million.
If I had $1 million.
Because I'm pretty sure public indecency is the fee for that is less than $1 million. So I would probably be able to keep quite a bit of that money.
Yeah, but then every time you move, you're going to be marked in the system as like some sort of weirdo, right? So.
Well, if it's just being called a weirdo,
I've been called worse.
I mean, people peeing in public are called sex offenders.
Wait, can't we just say we identify as nude living beings and just state that that's how we identify? And if they say otherwise,
everybody just put on your cat ears and run around and say you identify as a cat. Meow.
There you go. Exactly. And cats don't wear clothes.
Yeah.
I identify as a firefox. or a firefox or whatever.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, we'll be there, so you can check out all the content we do on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Come subscribe, or on bossrush.net, articles, all that kind of stuff. Patreon. You can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/bossrushnetwork, where you can gain early access to our podcasts, earn voting rights, and more at a tier that's right for you. That's patreon.com/bossrushnetwork. If you can't contribute financially, it's no big deal. Your viewership is enough for us, as always. You can watch the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and leave a thumbs up on this here podcast, as well as our other ones. You can listen to our family of podcasts on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all those places. You can buy merch at our store. It's over 40 designs, including, since it's what is it? National Women's Month, right? That's Women's Month is March. We have
whatever.
Yeah, we have the pink Boss Rush logo up there, so you can go check it out. And one last tease, everybody. Next week's recording is with our friends over at Way Forward. They're coming back to talk about Contra, not Advance Wars. It was made very clear that we are not allowed to talk about Advance Wars, except that it was fun if we played it.
Then I guess I will not be on next week's show.
Aw, rip. So, all right, let's get into what we've been playing. You know what, Stephanie, you weren't here last week. I'm gonna ask you what you've been playing first.
Thanks. I'll keep it short. Maybe I'll start with Show and Tell first, but one of my last collector's editions that I pre-ordered, Shadows Over Loathing, the sequel, so to speak, to West of Loathing. It's got a compass, art cards, stick figure stickers, some coasters, and obviously a physical copy of the game, which has a really cool cover. So instead of taking place in the Wild West, this game takes place in the Roaring 20s, still an action RPG with ridiculousness. I'm looking forward to laughing my ass off. And a tentacle keychain. Anyway, but I've only really been playing Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. You know how you have to defeat the two beings before entering
the gods
thing? Mm-hmm. Yes. So I beat the first one, the fire giant, and now I stopped right before my battle with the one god of illusion or something. So that's where I am. I don't know if that's like I'm about a third through or if I'm not even close to being a third through. But
I would say you're about a third, maybe even a little further.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm loving it. It's just, behind the scenes, a lot has been going on. So all of a sudden, my nice little cadence of playing video games dropped dramatically. And with a game that has a lot of lore, I don't like the fact that there's a lot of time in between my gaming sessions. Mm-hmm. I might have to do a quick recap of the story. So, but that's honestly it for now. Hopefully I can kind of jumpstart my gaming in a couple weeks, but that's it.
Yeah, Hellblade is it's a lot shorter because I've also been playing it too pretty religiously the last couple of weeks, last week I guess, and it's a lot shorter than I remember. I'm probably in the last hour of that game.
Oh, nice.
So, and I've put about, I would say, 6-ish hours into it. So,
I like the combat. I know it's overall kind of basic, but the way the button layouts are and just everything, I do like it, and it provides a challenge because of all the voices in your head, like behind you, where sometimes there is something behind you and other times there isn't something behind you. It's pretty clever. It's very different. I do enjoy the experience of having my headphones on, and I know it's not a horror game, but there are definitely some aspects of it that are very chilling.
Tell me it's not a horror game when I'm laying on the couch over here with all the lights off and I'm playing on my Switch, which is, I know it's not the best place to play it, but also it's an amazing place to play it with your headphones in, and like it's like you hear all the sounds around you, and then if something like creaks in your house and you just kind of like look over and like it's creepy. So on the other side of the office is like the kids' playroom area all the way on the other side. And my daughter hung artwork up over there that she's done over the last couple weeks or whatever. And she taped it up on the wall, but one of the pieces wasn't taped up correctly. And so like I'm laying there playing Hellblade, and it's like 11:30 at night, and I'm really tired, and I'm like trying to get to a good spot to save or whatever, or just turn it off and be done. And all of a sudden I just hear it. Like I'm in the middle of this like dark area, right? It's the area with the lights where you have to like stay in the light, or if you're in the dark, you'll get attacked. Pat, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
And all of us and I had just escaped one of the dark monsters. Like I was like running, and I stopped, and all of a sudden I hear this piece of paper. It's like 3 sheets of construction paper like glued together, right? And it's like not heavy, but it's heavy enough to make a louder noise. And then one of her toys was on the edge of the table, and like the paper hit the toy, and then the toy fell on the ground and hit the shelf, and scared the shit out of me. I fucking jumped so high. It's crazy. It was nuts. But also, yes, Hellblade is amazing. I'm glad I played it again. I actually took a lot of notes for that game. I actually put some of them in the doc. It's crazy. This is the third time I've played through it. I played it on PS4 when it came out, and then I 1K'd it on Xbox about 2 years ago. I don't. The second time they showed Senua's Sacrifice or Senua's Saga at one of these award shows or whatever, I was like, I should probably play the first one before this second one comes out. Little did I know I would be waiting 2 years. But I 1K'd it on Xbox, and this is actually my third time playing it. And I don't know, the story hits harder. It's like it's more impactful every time I play it. Just because I mean, not to get like super personal or anything, but like I've been on some medication for some, mental things going on, and the things that she's gone through besides that also are impactful and relatable. And I don't know, every time I play it, I feel more connected to this character. And it's a special game. It really is. And I hope everybody gets to play it. I know on Steam and on the Xbox store, it's been like $3 on sale the last couple weeks. So.
Oh yeah, it's been very affordable. I'm actually playing it on the Steam Deck, and it's one of the few games where I feel it feels good to play on the Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. And I agree. Generally speaking, the percentage of games that have mental health or highlight mental health in there is on the smaller side. And then of that, because it's such an abstract concept, it's real, but it's abstract, not concrete, like chickenpox, where you can see spots on your face or your body. It could be done in many ways. It could be very challenging. The way that they demonstrate what's happening to her is very moving to me. I too, given some mental health issues in the past, just super quick, like I've been put on medication that made the gave side effects of kind of hearing voices in your head. And it's kind of freaky how well that they were able to capture what that feels like. So I am super appreciating this game. Like I said, my only complaint is for myself by kind of letting too much time go in between sessions. But I am hell-bent, no pun intended, on finishing it.
Yeah, and like you said, the way they tell certain parts of the story, like Dylan's storyline, which is the head that's attached to her hip, right, that she's carrying around, and like the way that is told in this really strange abstract way, or when Druth shows up and it's like this weird mix of live action, kind of pasted over the game, and him narrating the story, and you don't really know why he's narrating the story at the beginning, and like you still kind of question it when you get to the end too. But and then her relationship with her mom, and then her dad is like he's like the dark figure that you kind of meet later, and it's just I don't know. This game has so much. I can't wait to do book club on this game, because this game, like, even playing it the third time, it means so much to me that this game exists. And I don't know, I almost wish they weren't making a second one, to an extent, just because this, you know, sometimes when you have something that's so special, right, and then you don't know, like, sometimes a sequel will mess it up, you know. I mean, not that it's the
Yeah.
same thing, but like The Hangover is something I really, the movie, right, where like that first one was so funny and so perfect, and then they made 2 sequels and it kind of ruined the first movie.
The second one was still good. It was the third one that ruined it, just like Terminator.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, it's just one of those things where this game is really, it's the way I feel about it has changed over time, because I think finally getting, you know, getting help for certain things and finding out certain things about myself, like, this game has become more relatable over time too. So really appreciate this game. I guess since I'm already talking, I'll just go through the rest of my stuff real quick. I've also been playing Final Fantasy VII, the OG. I have put my in-game timer says 6 hours. But I have just started my journey to go find Aerith. So because she's been kidnapped by, you know, the baddies, the helicopter took her away. So, I'm really enjoying this game. I do want to say that I'm really sad. I'm not. This game didn't really make me sad for it, but I know when I play Rebirth, this part makes me sad for what I'm going to experience with Rebirth, or remake. I mean, where Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse, you know, spoilers, I guess, for a 30-year-old game, but you know, they clearly don't make it, and so when I get to remake, I'm like preemptively upset because I know they're way more integrated into the story, and they're actually they're like a huge part of that game.
They are fleshed the shit out in that game.
Yeah.
Some people say Jessie is best girl in that game.
She's spicy. She likes her pizza, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean, actually. Wow.
Inside joke. Once you play it, you'll know.
Okay. So also, the Tifa versus Aerith debate. Is there really one? There's a very clear answer to me so far, at least.
When you talk about shipping people, there are some heavy debates in certain crowds. Like, I have seen wars on Twitter, and people like literally freaking the fuck out because of one way or another.
Well, I think the answer is very clear for me, and what I prefer. So,
Barrett.
Yes, Barrett. Yes, the racially stereotyped 90s black man is my type.
No, I'm just saying one of the key things later on is the ability to go on a date with one of your interests.
Yeah.
Depending on how well you treat them, and one of those interests could very well be Barrett.
Well, you know, if you want, sure.
If that's where the cards fall,
you know, I guess we'll find out. So Tifa is my choice, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. Yeah. I kind of find Aerith kind of annoying. Like, get away from me. She's the clingy. She feels like the clingy one.
Oh, she's the more mature one. She's the good girl.
Sure, but
she's the girl that you take home to mom.
No one likes the good girl until it's too late.
To be fair, you do meet Aerith's mom, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Anyways, I've been enjoying that. I'm ready to finish Hellblade and put all my time into this basket, this Final Fantasy VII basket. I've also dabbled in Nier Automata too. I don't know why, but I was kind of looking through my Switch games, and I was like, and I would, that point that you get to, and you have either finished a game or like you're looking for something because you don't know what to play, so you dabble in a bunch of games, and then you just kind of stick with one for an hour or two. Nier kind of became that again for me, although I'm extremely lost because I stopped playing it like a year ago. And when you go back to RPGs, you just kind of forget what you're doing and how to play it. So at some point, I will go back to this game, but I will probably have to start over because it's...
let me know. I'll join you on that journey.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk about it.
That'd be a fun one to talk about, yeah. Because I honestly got through the first two. The game is broken into 3 parts. I got through the first 2.
Mm-hmm.
Got a good beginning portion of the 3rd, and then stopped playing there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I want to go back to that again.
Mm-hmm. And then I won't talk about it, but I have been dabbling in the Disney Dreamlight Valley Monsters Inc. update. It's fine. It's just more stuff to do and more characters.
Is it a Scream?
You go to the Scream Factory, yes, and you get to when you get there, you can customize your character to look like a monster. So that's kind of neat. But really, it's just more stuff and more stuff in the store to buy, and a battle pass to purchase, and grinding for the stuff, and you know how that works. Speaking for paying for stuff, LeRon, what are you doing? What are you playing?
Just the same thing I've been playing recently. Mario vs. Donkey Kong and Tekken 8.
How's Mario vs. Donkey Kong? Is it getting harder? Is it getting better?
I wouldn't say it's getting harder, but challenges keep cropping up and stuff like that. Let's just put it this way: like there are certain things that I appreciate the game's mechanics for sure. Like like there's certain things you can do because like Mario is legit like how he was back in like the Donkey Kong days. Like it's a one hitter on that guy, but he's got quite a few like moves, tricks up his sleeve for defense and stuff like that, and it's hilarious. I went back and replayed Stage 3's boss battle where it's the vine maze, but it was DK is on the bottom and he's tossing up the prototype chain chomps before they were actually chain chomps. And I literally beat the stage, did not get hit. I beat the stage in 9 seconds. Cause I was just all over cause when you hit him, and it's funny because I'm like, why doesn't this game have a boss rush mode? That would be fun. But when you hit him with one of the falling fruit, like the platform he's on starts like going back and forth, like whizzing back and forth really fast and stuff like that. And so I'm just like crossing from vine to vine, and I had the luckiest streak ever because like every time I hit fruit, by the time it got down to the bottom, like he was right under it, so I popped him.
Nice.
Yeah. So the game's fun. Like my boyfriend was like, what the hell are you doing? Because I was like laughing like an idiot. Like every time I was doing this shit, it was hilarious.
Nice. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network. Well, Pat.
Yeah?
Save the best for last.
All right. Well, let me tell you about game number 8 of 2024 in Platinum number 82.
Ooh.
I Platinum Persona 3 Reload.
Nice.
Just under 100 hours.
Yikes.
99 hours and 30 minutes.
Yikes.
Woo.
Yeah, that game definitely brought some good memories with the whole Persona vibe. They did remake that game to be exactly like Persona 5, but still keeping the Persona 3 story. Which, Persona 3 story had high points, but it also had some really long low points as well. Like, that game is not paced very well. But the ending is definitely, or the whole, end, couple months that lead up to the end it's good. Like, it really hits some really emotional high points. The game heavily deals with themes regarding death, as well as bonds, like the strength of what bonds can do, such as like giving purpose in one's life and stuff. And they, it was very beautifully told. And the ending definitely lands on that game.
Nice.
I am excited. They recently just announced on the Xbox partnership showcase today that Persona 3 is getting the DLC, the DLC epilogue. This game, which originally was part of Persona 3 Fez,
Mm-hmm.
it's called Episode Aegis in Japan, or it's also called The Answer in America, and so they called it Episode Aegis: The Answer. And it's essentially 30 more hours of Persona 3.
Yeah.
That takes place after the events of Persona 3. So
when does that come out? I didn't watch the Xbox thing today.
September 30th. It's in September. Yeah. I've completed the story. Other people who aren't as fast as me can, will probably get through the story by that time too. But it's definitely something to check out if you ever wanted to try Persona game. I still recommend Persona 5 Royale. That's my favorite, but this one was pretty good.
Nice.
All right.
That's exciting. Proud of you, Pat. Platinuming a game or 1K a game is extremely difficult in most cases. So good job.
The one that the trophy I worried the most about was fusing the Messiah, which is considered one of the best personas you can get. First off, you have to be at level 91. Or if you're lucky and draw the Sun Tarot card during a run through the Tartarus, which is the dungeon, the Sun card allows you to fuse a persona that's 5 levels higher than you. And I fought the optional super boss in the Tartarus as well. This creature called the Reaper that was following you, and it boosted my character up 3 levels, so it got me just to the level I needed to be to fuse the Messiah. So once I got that trophy, I'm like, it's smooth sailing from here.
Nice.
They also have a super boss that you can face, and let me tell you, yeah, this boss was absolutely no joke, and I refused to play against her. Like, she literally heals her entire health and then casts a spell that does 9,999 damage to you.
Oh.
It's like you're screwed in every way, and I don't know how anyone could actually beat her, because she did that literally every freaking time. Anyways, yeah.
So does this have the thing? Because I know I want to say Persona 4 Golden, if you want to platinum it, you have to follow the strict calendar and do all the social links in a specific order or something.
You know what? That is true. You need to walk through to platinum this one.
Yeah.
Because there's so many social links in this game that you really only have a 3-day cushion to possibly screw up on.
That's not a lot of time.
No, it was not. But there's some good ones out there. Just kind of a step by or a day by day walkthrough that's like, hey, go out with this person, answer these questions, make sure you have this persona on you, because if your persona type is the same arcana as the person that you're having a social link with. So if you are going out or hanging out with the magician arcana social link and you have a magician persona, then that boosts up the building of that link. So it gives you advice like that.
Nice. At least it does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play it when I play those games. I'm playing them on Switch because if I have an achievement list or a trophy list and I look at it, I'm gonna freeze up and not do it. So,
yeah, you know, play how you want. That's like if you want to go for all the social links, definitely get a walkthrough. Don't be ashamed about that. If you just want to kind of rush through the game just to see what it is, that's fine too. There's really no wrong way to play it, unless you literally sleep in the bed every single day just to push along. Then you're playing the game wrong.
Yeah. I don't know, achievement, like I used to be really into achievements, and now like I see an achievement list and it gives me like I don't know, it makes me freeze, it makes me like super I can't. I turned off achievement notifications on my Xbox and trophy notifications on PlayStation.
So they don't pop up and do that beautiful chime?
I can't. No, because then I'll stop and I'll look at the list and I'll be like, oh, I'm missing like 47 achievements. And
I don't have that problem.
There's DLC for this game. They added 25 more achievements. Now I'm gonna cry.
I don't have that. I don't have that problem. I don't understand.
I know. I don't understand. It never used to be a problem. This is a very recent development in my mental capacity to focus on things. So
what helps is finding that one achievement that you know you're never going to get, and then it's just like, well, okay, well, I know I'm not going to platinum it, so I might as well just play to enjoy myself.
Yeah,
it's usually replay the game on hard mode or beat the game within a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
for me,
it's the games that say beat this game on New Game Plus on like extremely hard difficulty. Also, that's like, oh. Spider-Man has those because I'm one trophy away from getting the platinum in Spider-Man Remastered. It's do all the it's actually like one of the easiest ones. It's do all the crime things in each sector or whatever. And so, but then like I open the trophy list and it's like, oh, well, you have 3 DLCs that you only have 30% of the trophies, and I'm like, oh my god, stop.
We're just going to lower down that percentage from 99 to 72.
I know. And then like I looked at the Miles Morales one, and you have to beat it on New Game Plus, and you have to upgrade your entire skill tree, and you have to beat it on like hard difficulty or something. I'm like,
well, tell you what, don't pick up Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered, because that has 269 trophies in it.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's all the ones that you can think of that'd be annoying as hell, like don't use a health pack throughout your entire run, or
Shocker. Yeah.
Beat it, on hard mode using only your pistol. Things like that.
Man, that's rough.
All right, guys, you ready for this next one? The true 2024 Game of the Year just came out last week. Square Enix had produced an absolute masterpiece that everyone must play. It is fun. It is addicting.
Octopath Traveler.
Close. I'm talking about Queen's Blood.
Unicorn Overlord.
No,
Unicorn Overlord?
The game is called Queen's Blood.
Oh.
Let me tell you about Queen's Blood, okay? You start off with a deck of 15 cards, and you have a board with 15 places, and you and an opponent are trying to get the highest score on each one of the rows by placing down cards. These cards will then allow you to, each one has like different positions that will strengthen. So, like, you start off, for example, on your side, you're on the far left. So you usually put a card down. It has to be a strength. The cards come in a strength of 1, 2, or 3. And you put down a 1 first. And these ones will then say, well, okay, this is going to allow you to put down a 1, below it or to the side of it or above it, depending wherever you place it. It's whatever the card also does. And then you can then put other cards around these squares and influence the square to be stronger to like 2 or 3, to a strength of 2 or 3, so you can put down an even more powerful card. And the idea is that each card has a power modifier in the corner, and you want to have the most power in that row versus your opponents. And then whoever has the most points wins. I am telling you, this game is fucking addicting as hell.
Okay.
And if you decided, you want to take a small break from Queen's Blood, you can play the companion game in it called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
I knew it.
Yeah.
You were confusing me for a minute. I'm like, I think he's talking about the mini game inside of Final Fantasy, but I'm not sure. And then you kept talking about it. I'm like, is this something different? I don't know.
No, I am talking about the card mini game in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That game is addicting as hell, and it's probably it is the next level Gwent. I'm telling you right now. Like, people are going crazy for this mini game, and it's fun and it's fast paced. It's easy to learn and it's fun to master. So, but yeah, it is a major mini game in the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is also a pretty good game in and of itself as well. That's also, I would consider, a masterpiece. I am now in chapter 4, which is the Juron area. Probably only one of you knows what that is. But, yep. Hi, LeRon. Yeah. I spent a lot of times exploring the grasslands. One of the interesting things about this one, whereas Final Fantasy Remake was a fairly linear game, this one is a fairly open game where you will get placed into a region, and it's very much Assassin's Creed style, where you find a tower, and once you activate that tower, it's going to show you all these random, not random, but all these little side activities you can go to, whether it be scanning these crystals to learn more about the region, fighting unique monsters so that you can get battle data and get improved magic from this battle data, or even kind of opens up some various little side quests in the region as well. These are very big and very detailed regions that you get to explore, and it's nice because they give you a chocobo pretty fast into the game, and so you get to go exploring these places in your chocobo. And there's several different regions in the game, and each region has its own unique chocobo. So the Grasslands has the typical yellow chocobo, which is just kind of running around, your little speedy friend. And the area I'm in now has the black chocobo, which is one that can climb mountains. Then there are other chocobos.
The black chocobos have always been broken, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there are other ones. I'm pretty sure there's one that can fly.
There's red.
Mm-hmm. Blue should be the swimmer, I think. Gold was literally the one that did everything.
Yeah, the golden chocobo. Yeah.
Yep. I wonder if there's a golden chocobo in this one. I guess I'll find out. But the story is...
I only worry about the big three, like the yellow, the black, and the red, of course, from Final Fantasy Tactics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. There's a bunch of chocobos in this one. So if you like chocobos, this game's going to overload you with chocobos. There's even little choco chicks who you find on the field, and they leave you to these broken chocobo resting stations, and then you just like help like make it feel better by lifting up the sign that's lying on the ground, and then it gets happy, it chirps, and then you can pet it. They're adorable.
Nice.
In terms of the story, this game definitely opens up on a moment that's not from Final Fantasy VII, and it's really confusing. And then it, like, after that moment, it then drops you into the story just after they leave Midgar, and Cloud is talking about his past. What's cool is that immediately opening into that story, you get to actually play as Sephiroth, something that you've never ever been able to do in the game. And he is like fast, he hits hard. He's basically that dreamy man with a big sword that you wouldn't mind being penetrated by. Mm-hmm.
Penetrated by the sword? Isn't that just being impaled?
Yes. It's a very sharp sword too, so you won't feel a thing. You're dead before you even knew what hit you. But yeah, and then it just kind of continues on the story from there, like the traditional Final Fantasy. But everything's more expanded. There's more characters to interact with and get to know. And the combat system is definitely much improved. You can switch between any of the characters at any time. Every character plays very different from each other. So Cloud has that, he's fast and furious with his sword, but then he can go into what's called Punisher mode, which is more slower and powerful. But if you dodge or if you guard when in Punisher mode, he automatically counterattacks like melees. So that's like one cool thing. Otherwise, you have Tifa, who also is like fast and furious with her punches, and as you build up her her active battle command meter, you can like charge up her special, which brings up like she then can like string these really powerful combos by building up this meter. And then the other characters have their own little quirks with their special abilities, so it's fun to kind of experiment with them all.
Nice.
And also this game has a lot of music. Like the soundtrack has over 400 songs.
That's a lot. It's too much.
Various variations. Like when you go into battle, the music like really hypes up, and it's like it's a different variation of like the overworld theme song or whatever is kind of playing at that time. So it's kind of cool.
Pat, I have a question for you.
Yep.
What type? Was there any type of compensation given for having a save file from the original game? The first game,
from the remake, yes. If from the remake you get the Leviathan summon, and if you beat Intergrade, or Intermission, the Yuffie story, you also get Remu's summon.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Those two carry over. Otherwise, you don't get those ones in this game because they kind of focus on a whole new set of summons.
Okay, shit. And so basically, you do start back at level 1.
Level 15.
Level 15.
Yeah, I don't know why level 15, but that they figured your characters are level 15 at this point.
How Japanese of them.
Yep. And what's even funnier is that during Cloud's flashback, he's level 40. And then when you go and play like present day, he's level 15. So
nice.
I don't know what that's about, but it's cool. Characters are awesome. I haven't gotten that far in the game yet, but I'm really enjoying what I've played, especially Queen's Blood. Like I got really addicted to that and played everyone that I could. And then there was a side quest that involved Queen's Blood, and I was happy about that one as well. Although I will say, everyone that plays Queen's Blood in that game is a freaking weirdo. Like, the very first one is a guy named Crybaby Ned, who's just literally like, I suck at everything in life, and the only way I get better is by crying during my game. You know, just that's honestly like how he talks. And then there was like another lady who built like a fortress around her with cardboard boxes, and she gets mad after you destroy them. Yeah, it's they're all kind of weird.
Nice. Do they get as weird as the Witcher ones?
Probably weirder because this one's Japanese.
Fair.
Yeah.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Oh, you'll love it. Other than that, I've also picked up a little puzzle game for my Nintendo Switch called Pixel Lines, but it's a it's a Picross nonogram puzzle style game, but it's themed after Story of Seasons. So it's got Story of Seasons song. This is the original Harvest Moon game. So your puzzles are all like themed after various things in the game, such as crops or locations or even characters from multiple Story of Season games. So it's fun. It's if you like either Nonograms or Harvest Moon, I definitely recommend this game.
Interesting.
Harvest Moon, you say?
Harvest Moon, or what is now known as Story of Seasons, because that group decided to leave, but they couldn't take their name with them.
Weird.
Man, it's been a long time since I've found a really good Harvest Moon Story of Seasons game that I was, I really got into.
Yeah, this isn't traditional Harvest Moon. Like, you're not actually like planting crops or anything, but the more puzzles you do, the more your farm improves. So it's a puzzle game, but it's a fun puzzle game in my opinion. I love Nonograms, and I get all the Picross games and stuff that come out on the Switch. But Dan, DC Dan, this is your game. Pick it up.
Nice. How many Picross games are on Switch now? Like 8,000?
Let's see. I think there's 9 of the S series, and now they just re-released the E series, and I think that's like another 9 with the DLCs. Like that's the 3DS series that they just released on the Switch, and it's like $40 if you get all the DLC. But like each pack is like 300 puzzles.
Woo! Yikes! It's a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of puzzles.
A lot of puzzles.
Great. Well, I guess we should get into our topics now that we are. I'm assuming we're done talking about what we were playing. I guess I should have asked you, Pat, if there was anything else.
Nope, I'm good. I mean, I played some Senua, but
yeah,
I'm about the same place as where Stephanie is, just after the 2 gods. So,
well, we're gonna get into our topic, a fun topic, Stephanie's topic from like 3 weeks ago that we just had to keep pushing, and I had it on here for last week, but then I didn't read Stephanie's text message that said she wasn't going to be here, so that's on me. Whoops.
That's okay. We had some good conversations last week.
We did.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I'm not really going to be the best contributor, so I hope you guys have a lot to contribute to it.
Okay. This is already garbage. Then this is your topic, and man,
it's not my fault I couldn't play many of these games.
Why couldn't you?
I didn't play a lot of them.
Because. All right, so the topic is Year of the Dragon. For the Chinese zodiac, this is one of the luckiest years of the 12-year cycle. So to celebrate, let's talk about video games with dragons that we enjoy. And I'll start with what might be the kind of easiest answer, but it's actually a very genuine answer. because I just said I haven't really played a lot of very obvious ones, is the latest Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, because that epic final battle was actually just incredible. And there are 2 massive dragons in that fight. I love the design of the dragons. The battle with the dragons are great because you're just free falling onto the Ganon dragon, and Zelda dragon is, trying to get you. It's all a vertical fight, and I want a tattoo of those 2 dragons. I don't know if I have any real estate left for that, but goodness,
I'm pretty sure you got plenty of real estate left for that.
Yeah.
Is that a dragon themed game though?
I mean, you can get like Ganon on like the right side of your face and Zelda on the left side of your face.
Oh yeah, face tattoos, classy.
Or neck
yes,
tattoos,
okay, it's not a dragon themed game, LeRon, but it's got dragons in the game. Because
I would argue a lot of that.
I'm going to say Monster Hunter then.
That's totally fine too, LeRon.
Fine.
I would argue Zelda is pretty dragon themed. I mean, you got to go to the dragon. You got to collect the dragon's tears. You fight dragons. You have to like cut off scales to upgrade armor for
and
dragons.
Horns and talons.
Yeah, there's a lot of dragon going on in Zelda.
Okay, sure, Jan. Whatever you say, Jan.
And then I was going to say Spyro the Dragon, which is kind of like the other end of it, where you literally are playing as a dragon and freeing your other dragon friends. When I first played Spyro, that was at a time where I was a young girl. My parents believed that video games were evil, so I would have to go to my neighbor's house to play video games. And at the time, she only had Tomb Raider and she had Spyro. And I loved playing Spyro. It was so much fun.
Your parents are Republicans, aren't they? Your parents are Republican, aren't they?
I will not answer that question on there.
Fun fact, if you were playing Tomb Raider 2...
The reason why I asked that question is because, like, I think I actually shared it on Twitter earlier today. It was basically things the conservatives swore hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on.
Fun fact.
I'm going to paraphrase it worse than...
Fun fact. Yeah. Tomb Raider 2 also has a dragon in it, so either one of those choices are giving you a dragon.
Also,
nice.
Fun fact, Spyro is the thumbnail image this week, so...
Oh, because of Toys for Bob?
No, because
it's the year of the dragon.
Oh, duh. I really hope Toys for Bob, now that they've kind of gone indie, so to speak, that they'll make a new Spyro game. It's just one of those old franchises that I feel like deserves a comeback.
Well, they announced when they went indie, they did tease and say, hold on to your horns.
Exactly. So I'm hopeful.
Yeah, they did say they are looking at partnerships with Microsoft. So I would assume that they already probably have some sort of project in development that is revolving around Spyro, even though they got put on Call of Duty.
Made no sense.
Sorry.
Activision. What? Really?
Yeah.
Everything was Call of Duty.
I didn't get a Crash Bandicoot map. Lame. Also, other Zelda games though that are dragon themed. Wind Waker, the Red Dragon,
King of Red Lions. Yep.
And Skyward Sword also had the elemental dragons.
Yeah,
it's like they went from goddesses to dragons.
There you go.
Dragon goddesses.
Listen, I'm gonna need y'all to stow all this talk and save this shit for Pow Block.
We already had a 3.5 hour episode of Pow Block this week, LeRon. Thank you very much.
Wait, hold on.
I've been taking my time trying not to listen to that one because I'm like, man, I saw how chunky it was and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Do you ever listen
to Pow Block? It's not all about Nintendo. The first hour was just.
I do listen to Pow Block. I don't regularly tune into Pow Block. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, party pooper. Sorry, my dragon choices were lame. Does anyone else want to talk about these amazing dragon-themed games?
What about Like a Dragon?
I'm just being my typical self. I mean,
LeRon's a winner today.
Because wasn't because aren't there in the original Legend of Zelda? Aren't there two different bosses? There are two types of dragons.
The
Like
first
you got the
boss is a
3-headed
dragon.
You got that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if it was the first or second boss. It was a dragon. Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
Technically, the Dodongos are dragons too. So that's...
No, I think the Dodongos are freaking Triceratops without their horns.
There was a dragon boss in Twilight Princess.
You're right.
Yep.
Blah.
Yeah, that was the one where you had to use like this the. Wasn't that the one where you had to use the spinny thing?
Claw shots.
And you had to pull him down.
Oh, right.
Yep.
You're right.
Oh, and don't forget Volvagia from Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Originally from Legend of Zelda 2.
Mm-hmm.
The worst Zelda game.
No,
I'd rather play the 3D guys.
Wait, you talking about Adventure? You talking about Adventure of Link?
Yeah, Volvagia originally was from Adventures of Link.
I'm sorry. Anyone that's saying they'd rather play the 3DO like Zeldas before they play Adventure of Link is you're just talking at your ass.
Ooh.
You don't like yourself a little Wanda Gamelon?
Did that one have dragons in it?
I don't know.
I don't like those games either. But I will play Adventure of Link many times over before I play any of those.
I don't think I've ever even seen gameplay of those games. I've only seen like the animated cutscenes that are terrible. So.
Yeah.
Other dragon themed game, Mortal Kombat, pretty dragon themed. It's literally the logo of the game.
I was about to say the logo of the game is a dragon.
Man, can we just talk about how cool the Mortal Kombat logo is? Especially the one on Mortal Kombat 1, the blue, like the bluish dragon with like the red fire coming. It's so cool.
Yes. It's a great color scheme. Very awesome.
Yeah. I like how bright it is for such a dark and gruesome game. Like how bright the box art is, at least. It's just got that like white and gray textured background with the dragon on it and one of the 75 ninja characters in front. Oh, it's so cool. Man. Dragon Quest.
Yep.
Dragon Quest. Oh yeah, Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest, what's that? Why, it's only the biggest game in Japan.
Yeah,
I don't know. I confused it with another title in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the game that was originally called Dragon Warrior over here in the States.
Yep. But every time a Dragon Quest comes, Japan has to call it a holiday because too many people skip work.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But honestly, one of the games that got me into RPGs early in my life also was dragon themed, and that was Breath of Fire.
Ooh.
Where the Dark and the Light Dragon clans clashed.
Yeah.
And you basically had to try and get revenge for the decimation of the Light Dragon tribe by going around the world and stopping the Dark Dragons from taking over. And that game then spawned a whole bunch of series or a whole bunch of other games that usually involved the dragon being a dead or extinct race because people feared them, and so they eliminated them, even though they were the wisest ones and generally sought for peace unless they were part of the Dark Dragon tribe. But yeah, that game series I absolutely loved. I loved that Ryu could change into just any type of dragon. I mean, heck, I even like the Breath of Fire 3 dragon system where you like chose genes, and depending on what genes you chose, turned you into some different type of dragon.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but I loved Breath of Fire 4. Like it was my favorite out of the entire series.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a unique one. With the dual story, that one going on with that one. I didn't care for the dragon designs. They were too much like space aliens in that one. But
I can
other
see
than
that, yeah.
like I loved the game. I think my favorite was 1 but 2 was also very close. Like, I loved those two the best. Something about the bad guys like transforming into some weird like creature that's like, it just felt like they're all these just different types of races that you got to check out in this beautiful world.
Is the fourth one the latest one?
Technically, there's a fifth one.
No, there was one on PS2.
Yeah, Dragon Quarter.
I forget the name. Dragon Quarter. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, and that kind of I think that kind of buried the series.
I was going to say that's a very old franchise.
Yeah.
The thing that made that one rough was you got the bad ending the more you used your dragon power. But the game was hard unless you used the dragon power. And it required.
And who wouldn't want to use dragon power?
Yeah, I know. Like, the game was designed for you to go through multiple times, and I think like build up from those multiple times. It's not the same Breath of Fire that it used to be, for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't they make a weird mobile game too that was like they tried to consider a core version until everybody freaked out about it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I could look that one up. I think the servers are dead now.
Wow. Look at that. I learned something new. I was not familiar with this franchise at all.
Oh, really?
Capcom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say it was Capcom's answer to to Final Fantasy. It seemed like it was more Capcom's answer to Star Ocean.
Yeah, well,
all right, Capcom, time to bring the series back.
I mean, the fun thing was Square and Capcom collaborated together on the first one, and then Capcom took the series after.
Interesting. Man, Capcom, can we just say Capcom really firing on all cylinders?
Yes, they are. And I'm looking forward to whatever they're showing off tomorrow. I don't recall if it's just anything new necessarily, or they just minor updates. I know one of them is additional information from what was shown at Xbox today, but
yeah, they also said that Monster Hunter Stories that they announced at the Nintendo Partner Direct is also going to be there, but I don't know.
I told people they were going to talk more about Monster Hunter Stories. I told people.
Is this stupid for me?
By the way, I'm sorry. By the way, was it well, I told you guys in the chat, but I'm going to go ahead and say it on the stream, on the recording now. They are bringing all the DLC that did not get localized for the original game to the States. So I just got my reason to buy that game, to rebuy that game.
Yeah. Is it coming to PC? Is it only coming to Switch? Or is it coming to, I assume it would be coming to PlayStation.
I'm thinking it's coming to PC. You know, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Capcom. I think Capcom's starting to learn. Besides, it was a simultaneous release for the Stories 2 on Switch and PC. I don't see why they would do that. You know.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Monster Hunter Stories 2, man, that game was good. That was fun.
Yeah, I gotta go back and beat that game.
Yeah, I gotta beat both of them still. Maybe one day when we talk about backlogs.
Let's not forget the most important dragon game, everybody. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon.
Well, just Fire Emblem in general is all about dragons. Every single one of them.
I know.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, they're not about dragons, but they are about dragons. Like dragons are. Three Houses is definitely about.
The Shining Force series is about dragons too.
Yeah, usually dragon. Usually the bad guy is dragon, or the deities tend to be dragons for most of the games.
Yeah. Well, that's in Three Houses. The head of the monastery was a dragon.
Yep.
That was fun. Spoilers, I guess.
Oh, I mean, it essentially was the fall of the dragon race, and except for your character, was the future hero, the dragon.
Yeah.
And of course, engaged, you are the divine dragon.
It's true.
I did enjoy the Birthright and Conquest series where your character could turn into a dragon. That one was actually really cool.
Yeah, I wish that game was better because it was a cool concept, but I don't know, for me it didn't land. Also, it was like on 3 separate cartridges, so like unless you bought it digitally and then bought each of the other campaigns.
Or you bought the really limited edition collectors. Yeah, that had every one of them on the same cartridge.
Yeah. That 3DS, though, was super cool looking.
Yeah,
it was like that white shadow Fire Emblem one with the black bottom. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we also got Dragon's Dogma. I have not played the first, but I'm definitely playing the one that's coming out soon.
Reviews are saying it's a Game of the Year contender. Like,
they're
saying previews are saying it's fantastic.
Isn't that one of the games that's coming out literally while we're at PAX?
Yep.
Oh, of course.
March 22nd.
Yeah, it's that Friday, right? Yeah. I see a lot of console people freaking out because it seems to be a 30 frames game and not a 60.
Oh, no.
So.
Games are coming out.
I would just say no comment.
Here we go.
Speaking of games that are coming out while we're at PAX, the Princess Peach game actually just dropped a demo.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I downloaded it.
Okay.
Haven't played it, but I downloaded it.
Nintendo's been very good at dropping demos of like their main games now. So
yes.
Yeah. Especially like the smaller games that may not sell as much as the Mario or Zelda. Don't forget the sister franchise to Mass Effect, Dragon Age.
Yep. Aren't they working on a Dragon Age game?
Dreadwolf
for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's supposedly coming out this year, but of course we haven't even seen a preview of it.
That's not true. We got a trailer at the Game Awards like 3 years ago that just said Dragon Age is in development.
Yeah,
that's like this weird purple swirl.
We don't know, like we just know about the region and the concept of the game, but we haven't seen it in action. That's you kind of need to see it in action before.
Yeah. Mass Effect is also in development.
Another 10 years.
I don't want to be negative Nancy here, but do we think BioWare is going to close before Mass Effect comes out?
Yes.
And Mass Effect will be handed off to someone like Motive and just kind of...
I say Mass Effect just gets canceled.
Wow.
Because single-player games are dead and it's not live service. Or they somehow turn it into a live service.
That's Warner Brothers talking that bullshit. And EA hasn't started that shit yet.
EA also said that single player games are dead.
Didn't they? But they made that Mass Effect multiplayer for Mass Effect 3. A lot of people kind of liked at one point. I bet they could probably turn that into some sort of live service.
That sounds like Skull and Bones right there, my friend.
I didn't say it was going to be good. I just said they could probably try.
They could try. That's taking one good aspect and trying to make a whole game around it, and it's going to die in a year.
Anthem. Oh, sorry, that was out loud. Oh man, good times. Dragon games, everybody. Gotta love them.
I have one more question for you guys. Even though it's kind of just about dragons, it could be beyond games, but even so. So what's your favorite kind of dragon design? Do you like the Western style dragons, kind of like your Dragon Age and Dragon's Dogma, or do you like the Eastern design of dragons like you'll find in the Legend of Zelda series? And I don't know, I'm sure a lot of Eastern based games.
Like Dragon Ball?
I will share an image of my favorite dragon design.
Ooh,
of course it comes.
Don't click on it if it says Pornhub, guys.
Of course it comes from Monster Hunter, but
is that what the video is called?
This is my boy. He's always been my boy since he was introduced in Monster Hunter 2. It's Kushala Daura, who, hold on a second, I'm trying to find a really nice picture of him. He's the Steel Wind Dragon.
Steel Wind Dragon. Whew.
As a matter of fact, I will use his one from the Nintendo Switch, from the Nintendo from Rise's intro. Yeah, here we go.
Whoa, that's a badass looking dragon.
Yeah, Monster Hunters had some good dragon designs. I will definitely go with that. Yeah. Except for the final boss of Rise, that dragon was stupid looking.
Oh,
wait, the final boss of Rise?
Yeah.
Wait, are we talking about the Geismagorm?
Whatever the golden dragon was.
The golden dragon.
You had the dragons that represented thunder and wind, or storm and.
Oh, you're talking about the base game. Oh, yeah. Narwa and Ibushi.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I did not like their designs.
Those designs were dumb.
Yeah, I did not like their designs. But then again, like it was all like all the creatures were all the creatures for the original part of for the base game of Rise were based off of whatchamacallit. What's the Japanese word for ghosts?
Yokai.
Yokai, thank you.
Yeah. No, but to answer your question, yeah, I'm more of the Western style of dragons. Not like the ones that actually have like 4 arms/legs and a pair of wings. Not where
like the traditional dragon.
Yeah, I'm not talking about worms.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't say worms. I like them all. It's worms, like Eastern dragons are more snake-like. They're long body.
Worms, wyverns, and dragons. I like them all.
There you go. Oh, sorry. I was thinking worm like WORM, not WY. Oh, man. You phonics. Damn it.
Yeah.
So dragons. Dragons are badass. They're epic, and even more so epic in games that you play.
Yeah, dragons are cool.
Thanks for humoring my topic. Yeah, indulging, whatever.
May we get more and more dragon games in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's it. We'll save this other topic for later. We'll save the other one for later. This was a good episode. Good time to wrap it up.
Yay.
You want to go through the questions?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I forgot we had questions. Sorry, everybody.
Wow, Corey, you really dropped the ball.
I know, dude. I know.
I love you, man. I love you.
It's been a
I tell you I love you and I get a heavy sigh. Okay, I see how this relationship's going.
Yep. So if you want to leave us a question, you can join our Discord and go to the thread that says podcast questions and drop it in there, or you can look for our Twitter thread at Boss Rush Network. We have a couple questions here. I'm going to search for more because I did put a call out before we started. The 1-2 James asks, given news of Monster Hunter Story 1's port, what do you want to see in a third game? Ooh. LeRon, I think this might be.
I was going to say that's for the expert.
What would I like to see in a third Monster Hunter game? As someone who thoroughly enjoyed both the first and the second game, even though I haven't completed the second game yet, I just want to see them like do more and more things to incorporate like the two styles of Monster Hunter, because like when Stories came out, Stories basically talked about the whole balance of like humanity and dragons. Humanity, the Wyverians and dragons. So the Wyverians are the people who look like humans, except they're elves because they got the ears and stuff like that. It talked about that, and it talked about the balance, because like I was on one of the Reddits for Monster Hunter, and someone was talking about how many like rap, and like somebody like showed their rap sheet, like because your hunter's guide, your hunter's book has how many creatures you hunted and stuff like that, right? And someone had hunted like over 200, like it was either Rathalos or Rathian. I want to say it was Rathian because Rathian tends to be the easier monster of the two pair. And it got me to thinking. It was like, because I've hunted like a ton of monsters and stuff like that, and apparently the balance is supposed to be that, you know, like that hunters hunt the monsters, you know, um, to keep the world from being overran by them, but we don't hunt them to extinction, and vice versa. The monsters in Monster Hunter are basically like what brings the seasonal changes and stuff like that. It's not that like, you know, like hardcore in this, but basically like the monsters are a force of nature and stuff like that, and it's a balance between both humanity and monsters and stuff like that, which is why the guild is there. The guild is there so like we don't overhunt these monsters and make them extinct, which I think is like I think that's just Capcom's like sneaky little way of saying, hey, like, you know, like humanity ruins everything, you know, and stuff like that. But stories came out, and stories, like, those are the people who actually are there to host the synergy between humanity and the monsters and stuff like that. So I just want to see more and more lore go deeper into that. Like, I also would like to see more of what they would do with the actual pre-existing lore, because Monster Hunter goes back 20 years now. And I love to see them do some stuff like, you know, like part of the lore back in the day when the original Monster Hunter was out, was that the reason why there was teams of 4 is because some really legendary hunters like went out there, and to celebrate a hunter and his fiance, you know, getting married, the team went out on a hunt. So it was a 5-person mission. Well, only 4 of them came back from the mission, and they never said who died. So they never said if it was one of the teammates or if it was one of the 2 that were getting married. But after that, you know, like the lore was all about, like, you know, like 4 people teams and stuff like that. So I like to see them just dig a little bit deeper into this overall lore and stuff, because you know, like, it's really fascinating what they really established in the and when the first Stories game came out, and we actually learned that, you know, like the people who actually like raise the monsters and stuff, you know, from the eggs and stuff, and form the synergies and stuff, they're the ones that are actually designed to actually protect the harmony, you know. So basically, I guess you can say, in a certain extent, for people who know anything about Monster Hunter, these people become the guild, you know. So I would love to see that. I would also love to see because I think one thing that's been really good is, you know, like monster attacks and stuff like that. I like to see if we can be able to like summon 2 monsters during a fight, you know, particularly during boss battles and stuff like that. You know, like summon 2 monsters and have them actually like and it'd be a team up, you know, against like the boss or whatever is going on and stuff like that. So basically, you know, like how like Monster Hunter Stories is. Everyone says the rock, paper, scissors approach to the combat system. Like, what happens if you actually have a rock, a paper, and a scissors in the battle all at the same time?
Facts. Yeah. Well, I don't have that lengthy of an answer for a third game. I hope it's fun. I hope it runs better, and if it's on the next Nintendo console, I hope it runs better. Because as much as I enjoyed that game, it was a
little janky.
Yeah, that's a word for it. So yeah, that's my wish, I'll say, is that I hope it runs better. I hope it's fun. I hope it has a really colorful art style and it's fun. So
more monsters.
Yeah.
Yep. Use the whole library.
Oh God.
Use the library.
That's a lot of monsters.
Damn straight. If Pokemon can have over 500, so can Monster Hunter.
That's a lot of fucking monsters.
I think Pokemon has like 1,000 now.
Wait. Are all 500 of those? Are all 500 Pokemon in a single game?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, all 1,000 Pokemon are not in a single game.
There's more.
There's over like 1,000 Pokemon. So 500 in a game is typically what a Pokemon does.
Let's see. How many Pokemon are there?
think there's 1,008.
How many Pokemon in total? 1,025 Pokemon.
Oh, they've increased.
According to the Pokemon Encyclopedia on Wikipedia.
Jeez.
That's too many.
That explains why someone likes
way too much.
That explains why they have some Pokemon like sheets of toilet paper.
Well, one is literal garbage, another is a vanilla ice cream, and another is a chandelier. I mean, come on.
Dude,
Yeah.
you just gave them an idea for Gen 10. One of them will literally be a roll of toilet paper.
Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, I want my royalties for this.
This
it's going to be a ghost / I don't know.
Poison type.
Ghost poison. Jeez.
Poison type. Oh my god.
Oh god. Pokemon.
We're giving them too much. We're giving them too much material. We need to stop now.
Pokemon number 1,000, by the way, looks like a peeled banana. It is a steel ghost type, and it's called Goldango.
Oh my gosh!
You have to. I remember that one. You have to get, I think, 100 gold coins, and then they evolve into that one thing.
Goldango
from Gimmighoul or something.
Yep.
Jeez, what's? Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know. All right, I'm getting this question. The next question.
Don't stop, never stopping, Nintendo. Don't stop.
The One True James asked, will you be playing Night Dive Star Wars Dark Forces remaster?
I had no plans on it.
Not myself, not to be boring, but no.
Yeah, I probably won't either.
I like Dark Forces, but is this a true remaster, or does this look like a port?
I don't know. Aspire did it, so I'm gonna assume they probably redid some of the assets, but it's probably more of a.
It's gonna look
HD
like
port.
the PC version, but cleaner.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Place Austin. I've heard of that guy. Austin Campbell asks, "What are the best sitcoms?"
Are we asking for specific shows, or are we talking about the actual type of situation comedy?
He said, "What are the best sitcoms?" I assume our show titles.
Oh well, he and I have been talking up a storm on Twitter about The Rookie.
Love
Is that
a
show.
Sitcom? I thought that was a cop show.
It's a cop show, but I mean, you know what? Hold on. We need the actual definition of a situation comedy. Hold on a second.
No, we don't. Everybody knows what a sitcom is. Everybody Loves Raymond is the classic sitcom.
Yes.
So we're talking about stuff like that.
King of Queens, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Office.
Wait, The Office is considered a sitcom? Well, yeah.
Yeah. The Office is considered a sitcom.
I'll say The Office now that it's counted. Does Golden Girls count?
Yes.
Thank you for being a friend. I love Golden Girls.
Yeah. Community.
Yeah.
Married with Children.
Yes.
I was banned from watching that show when I was a kid.
Same, but it didn't stop me from watching it.
I think Friends is kind of the classic one now. Seinfeld, people like. I've never watched an episode of Seinfeld, so I don't know. I lied. I've seen one episode of Seinfeld, and I didn't understand why people liked it, so I never went back.
Is the show about nothing?
New Girl was good for half of its run. I would say Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec was
Parks
good.
and Rec.
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, classic. Love it.
Yep. Office, of course, was one of my big ones.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to watch something current, watch Abbott Elementary.
That's the one about
sitcoms exist
teachers,
still?
right? Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do they? I don't know.
Wow.
I assume.
Thought it all became reality TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Or news.
Well, it's funny.
90 Day Fiance is not exactly a sitcom.
No,
maybe
that's
it is.
a reality TV
Darn.
show.
Darn.
Oh, man. All right. So the last question we have is from Geek Pro 27. I've heard of that guy too.
Aww.
Good old Jack.
Yep, Jack. Miss Jack. Do you feel we are headed into a gaming recession due to all the layoffs in the industry? Man,
yes,
I would say yeah.
I talked about that a few weeks ago on this show. Actually, I feel like a recession is looming, but it's not the layoffs that's causing the recession. If I'm being honest, what's causing the recession is just a lack of creativity and ingenuity. It is. There's I'm really starting to agree with you, Corey. In certain instances, like why does tech have to? Why does it have to be like tech pushing like stuff? Like why isn't we? I feel like the core tenets of gaming is entertaining, replayable, storytelling, and fundamental. I believe those are the tenets of gaming right there. Like, because if you have a game that's fundamental, has good storytelling, is entertaining, you can miss the other one, and still have a good game, and it doesn't even have to, and because like overall, all that spills into a nice little word we call quality. And if you have quality, it doesn't matter if it's 1-2 Switch or Tears of the Kingdom or Monster Hunter Rise or Mass Effect or Destiny or any of this shit. If you have quality, you're never gonna have to worry about are your games selling or not selling. And so yeah, I feel like it's not so much the layoffs in the industry that's doing this. Because like I feel like this is just I just feel like this is kind of like a symptom of the disease that happened from the pandemic, because I did a lot of reading about this. Thank you, Corey, for kind of like putting a different light on it, because we talked about this last week, in the extent, but yeah, like before the pandemic, like there was a gaming boom, and the pandemic hurt a lot of things. In all honesty, companies were actually in a position to do what they did, which was buy up other companies. Like do new properties, take chances and stuff like that. But what hurt the industry is that when the pandemic happened, people needed shit to do. So like there was an upsurge in how many games sold through and stuff like that, and I'm just talking about video games. I'm even talking about like the nightmare that was like the console shortage, when like the PS5 and the series came out, what I'm talking about is the fact that people were stuck in the house, they needed shit to do, and they bought video games. They bought video games like people buy toilet paper, like, when a hurricane's coming, and so like it basically created a really wild supply and demand, for gaming and stuff like that. And that's why a lot of these companies went ham and just started like throwing everything out there, amidst all the delays and stuff that were going on and things of that nature. But of course, like everything hits a crescendo or reaches a plateau and stuff like that. And like the well was tapped out. This is also kind of the reason why Hollywood's also having the problem it's having as well. Like, it's tapped out right now because like we as consumers want it so much that like we didn't realize that like, hey, like we got a backlog of games that we can play. We don't need to have everything new, like for every copy of whatchamacallit, Animal Crossing that was sold, that was bought, like some people could have like picked a game off their shelf that they hadn't beaten that was like 10 years old and been content. And I'm not going to blame the gamers for this. I'm really not, because I feel like it's a circle of life in the gaming community and stuff like that. Like gamers want games. The industry wants to put out games, but the industry also wants money from the games and stuff like that. And games get bigger, and things happen, but people also get exhausted.
True. Facts. Yeah, I think, I don't know if recession is the right word. I do think, kind of just to kind of reiterate what I think I said on this show last week is, I think with all these layoffs, I think, I think a lot of these people are probably going to get out of the game industry because it's too unstable, at least at the moment, right? But I think you're going to see I think you're going to see people start new studios, and I think you're going to see almost a rebirth of the AA space with, smaller, manageable budgets, maybe a little bit of creativity mixed with a little bit of what right? Like I think Remnant from Gunfire Games is a good example of that type of game. And it's not like an extremely AAA title, but it's fun, it's engaging. You can play with your friends. I think you're going to see a lot of stuff like that. A lot of stuff kind of like in the Darksiders vein, or, even to an extent, a title that looks like an older game, like a Nintendo Switch game or something, right? Like it's not, like you said, LeRon, like a AAA pushing the boundaries of the tech that's out to the point where, it almost breaks the studio or will break the studio. I mean, look at Suicide Squad.
No, look at the games they just announced for the Xbox partnership broadcast. Most of those games don't look like they were.
I forgot it happened today.
Yeah, most of those don't look like they belong on the PS5. They look like PS3 and PS4 games. But honestly, they look like they play like games that we might actually enjoy. I think this is kind of where we're going with the games right now.
Yeah.
Would we hit a recession? I don't think. I think we're going to see a lull. Like, we're not going to see as many huge releases like we did last year, but I think it's just restructuring itself during that time, like Corey said.
Yeah. I don't think the first party AAA experiences will ever go away like that, right? Like, I think the first parties can probably, for the most part, manage those budgets, at least take them on, maybe not manage them according to Sony's financial reports or what Microsoft's trying to do with certain games. But, they can kind of eat that cost because the platform, they get 30% rip off of every other game, right? And that kind of keeps them, that's the income they have, right? Or their subscriptions to PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass or whatever. I think you're going to see companies like WB. I know they just said they're chasing the game as a service thing, right?
Stupid. Hey, look, we had the best selling game in 2023. That was a single player experience. We also acknowledged that Suicide Squad sucked.
Yeah.
Let's continue to make live service games. That is obviously the direction we need to go.
Yeah. I actually think if you look at what Disney did, of all companies, they got out of the games business. They reassessed. They looked at, we kind of need to be in the games, but we don't want to manage studios and, figure out what IPs go where. So we're just going to license our IPs to studios that maybe are a good fit, right? And I think for the most part, they've hit on all of them except for maybe Avengers. And even then, like, the single player campaign was fun. It's when you got into the multiplayer live service stuff where it kind of fell apart, right? So I kind of think Disney has hit for the most part, and I think you're going to see WB take a look at that if they don't hit on their live service stuff, and be like, because they did try to sell their gaming division at one point, and nobody wanted it because the IP didn't go with them. So it's like, well, if I can't have Batman and Harry Potter and what do you get? You get NetherRealm and Mortal Kombat, which is, Mortal Kombat's huge, but like, you're not going to buy a whole gaming division for Mortal Kombat, right? So, I think you're going to start seeing, you're going to see WB start doing that. I mean, we saw EA kind of pull out of the licensed game business, except for whatever projects are further along, right? And I don't know. It's tough, especially for licensed games now, apparently, because you got to pay the license holder, you got to pay the platform holder, you got to pay the studios. Like, by the time it all is said and done, like, what is the money you're making? These big AAA developers want the $1 billion game. They don't want the, we spent all this money and made $200 million. No, we want the $1 billion game, right? So we'll see, I guess. Everybody wants that Fortnite money, including Disney, because they just paid them $1.5 billion to build them their own Fortnite. So any other thoughts?
Steph?
Thoughts?
Do you have any thoughts?
Well, the reason why I kind of said yes so readily is because I interpreted recession as a more broad term. Because when I think in economics, everything's very cyclical. Obviously, there are factors as to how quick the cycle turns around and how long it stays that way. and I think of a recession as a downturn of economic productivity. So I think of kind of the major companies. So especially the studios that set such high benchmarks for sales that you just happen to mention, it's almost like they're creating their own recession because of the benchmarks that they are placing. So I only say yes because I treat it as a broad term. I think the blockbuster hits, millions of dollars, are going to slow down. I do think the industry is kind of bloated in that sense because they just seem to be putting too much money into one place. And like LeRon had mentioned, that layoffs are a symptom of that. And what does a recession do? It impacts the consumers psychologically, the way, gamers feel. Yes, LeRon.
I am so sorry to like break into your thought stream. Did we know Ghost of Tsushima is confirmed for PC? Did we know this?
They confirmed it
today.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. They announced it officially today.
Director's cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie, go back to what you're doing. I'm gonna kill my microphone and my my camera because I think I'll take care of something now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We'll see
I'm
you in
not
30
that
seconds,
depraved.
LeRon.
I'm not that depraved.
Jeez.
Uh,
I'm so sorry I broke up your thought stream. I'm so sorry.
Gosh, LeRon, you're the worst.
yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Someone help.
The layoffs are a symptom of the disease.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just think
you were at.
yes, in a sense, I feel like we're going into recession, but I don't want to use that word as like I'm a doomsday person. Like, just because I say recession doesn't mean
Depression,
right? I just feel like, the larger companies will slow down because everything is just so bloated. There's too many hands in the pot. A lot of restructuring going on, which restructuring can happen in a downturn. I don't think it's necessarily, the end of anything. I just think things will slow down for a bit, and then, like every cyclical thing, then we'll pick back up.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Toys for Bob situations too, where maybe smaller studios that, I mean, Embracer, you're kind of seeing it now too, right? Where Saber kind of bought themselves back, and Gearbox is being sold off. I mean, I know they have to because Embracer really mismanaged some financial situations, but the fact that Saber was able to buy themselves back instead of being closed down was a win, I think. And I think you're going to see a lot of that type of stuff. I think when I also think a lot of these studios, when you are a public traded company, a lot of things are expected of you, and that's why we're seeing things too,
Mm-hmm.
So Yep. So, all right. Well, I think we're going to get out of here. Also, it's a sad day in the content creation space because Rooster Teeth was shut down by WB Discovery today. Even if you don't know Rooster Teeth, you know Rooster Teeth. Red versus Blue, Ruby, stuff like that. So, shout out to Rooster Teeth.
Is that how you pronounce that? Ruby?
Yeah, RWBY. It's Ruby. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here I was just like phonetically saying it.
Sorry about that, LeRon. I ruined your perception.
It's so odd. I only ever said it like that in my head though. I never said it out loud because I didn't know how the fuck to say it.
Yeah, I think you look at Rooster Teeth and Giant Bomb also. I mean, they're still around, but they're kind of a shell of their former selves. No offense to people that still work there, but it's kind of the pioneers of what we see on Let's Plays and YouTube videos and Machinima and that kind of stuff. They were there at the beginning with Red versus Blue, right? And some of the stuff they did after that. So 21 years of Rooster Teeth. They're gone now. Their podcast network is apparently staying open, though. So if you like their podcasts, I don't even know what podcasts they do, but they're all available still, I guess. So, but we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Subscribe, share, rate, review wherever you listen. Follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. Check out bossrush.net. Subscribe to the Boss Rush Network YouTube channel. LeRon, Stephanie, Pat, thank you for your time tonight, as always. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.